The Journey of Estrogen and an Estrogen Mimic. Today we're going to meet a hormone named estrogen that lives in the body. She says hi. And a chemical named BPA that's not supposed to be in the body because it comes from plastics such as drinking water bottles. Estrogen is natural and lives inside our cells and helps to make us grow big and tall and strong. This can be hard to imagine that something exists inside us. So let's pretend like we had superpowers such as X-ray vision. We could look down at our body, into our skin, through our cells that holds estrogen, and into the nucleus where we would see DNA that gives our bodies instructions and makes us who we are. You can think of it as the building blocks of life. Now let's follow estrogen on her journey. You remember her, right? After estrogen has been released from the body, it then has to enter the cell. Estrogen can only enter the cell one way, by binding to a specific receptor in the cell membrane. Estrogen has a special shape, so she can bind to this receptor. There are a lot of receptors on the cell membrane, but only one is a perfect fit. Once estrogen has bound to its receptor, it can enter the cell and then into the cell's nucleus. The nucleus stores all of the cell's genetic information on thread-like things called chromosomes. Chromosomes are made up of DNA. Estrogen is looking for a specific area of the DNA called the estrogen response element. Once it binds to the response element, it can then start transcribing genes. Genes carry information that makes us who we are, whether our hair is curly or straight, or how tall we are, for example, but also many other traits, like how we get other diseases. The human body contains about 25,000 to 35,000 genes. Estrogen is responsible for turning on or off many of these genes so that we develop properly at the right time. It is all very organized. Once estrogen has completed its job, we can then develop normally and properly at the right time. But sometimes chemicals can interfere with this process. You remember BPA, don't you? If BPA gets in the body, either from leaching from plastics or other mechanisms, it can mimic the path of estrogen. Because its chemical structure is like that of estrogen, it can bind to the receptors. Even though it is not a perfect fit, it can still enter the cell. Once it enters, as you can see, it's very happy. BPA can then bind to the estrogen response element in the nucleus, even though it's not supposed to be there. But it doesn't really care. BPA can then start transcribing the same genes in the nucleus as estrogen. However, it's not the right time for these genes to be transcribed. Either they can be turned off or turned on when they shouldn't be. And, as you can see, this is done in a completely unorganized manner. This can lead to the production of wrong proteins or more complications later on in life. Clearly, we don't want this to happen in our bodies, so we want to try to reduce our own exposure to BPA. To find out more information, visit www.bpaforkids.org. Thank you.